Hi guys, Dr. Nicole LaPera, the holistic psychologist here. Thank you everyone for subscribing to my channel. Those of you who haven't, if you like what you see, please subscribe and turn on your notifications. I will be releasing a new YouTube video every Sunday. So today I want to talk a really easy breezy, beginner how to meditate. I am such a proponent of meditation. It is an incredibly important skill. I call it a skill because I'm going to tell you why, that I think every one of us can develop and is going to go a long way if we do. So a couple things about meditation. First and foremost, I'm going to dispel some myths. Meditation is not often a Zen-like experience. It is not a passive experience, meaning I don't sit there and wait for something to happen and be meditated. It's an active experience. Like I said, there's tools that I suggest we work on developing while we're meditating. So it's something we're doing. We're not waiting for something to happen. Again, it is not Zen. Our goal is not to battle our thoughts away or to get to a place where we're thoughtless, because that's just not possible. We can't control our thoughts, but meditation helps us to change our relationship with them. It can also be overwhelming. This might be, for some of you, the first time you're sitting with yourself and your thoughts. And I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of uncomfortable things that come up. We can see some thoughts or hear some thoughts or experience ourselves having some thoughts that can be really uncomfortable, downright dark, scary. A million different, adjectives could apply here. We might start to feel restless, feel uncomfortable in our bodies. This is all totally normal. This, like I said, is the first time where some of you might be sitting without the endless distractions that we have throughout a given day, right? We are going throughout our day. We have to worry about this and that, and we're in our thoughts and we're everywhere else. So we are distracted. So when we are not distracted, when we are sitting in silence, all of this is going to come cascading back, and a lot of us, it's going to overwhelm us. So whenever we start a meditation practice, I suggest literally 1 to 2 minutes. Do not get crazy. Do not think. I'm sure a lot of you know meditators or have heard of 7-day retreats or 30 minutes and an hour here and there. That is, like I said, not a great place to start, because that can be really overwhelming. And the last thing we want to do is overwhelm ourselves right out ever trying this again. And I know that I've had that experience back when I discovered mindfulness. I was really resistant to doing it consistently because, like I said, I would get agitated in my body, my thoughts would be racing, I'd think about the million things I should be doing or doing next or what's for dinner or whatever it was. My thoughts were a mile a minute, so I avoided it. So literally 1 to 2 minutes is a great start. So how do we meditate? We go and we sit somewhere where we are as free of distractions as possible. Now, of course, I know this is going to vary, for all of you, where that place is or when it happens, but just carving out some time. So I sit literally in a room like this, on a cushion like this. I do so in the mornings, so I get up, it's part of my morning routine. And what I will do is I will just bring myself to quiet. I will close my eyes, because remember, one of our goals is to limit the amount of things and distractions, places for our attention to go. What we want to happen is to meet ourselves, to see what our thoughts are all about, to sit with our feelings. This is so empowering to learn that there is a human, an entity, whatever you might call that, your spirit, your inner being, your soul. There's a person that makes each of you that is separate from everything that's going on in your mind all day, or even the way your body feels. There's an entity that's separate from that. So sitting alone in my room, right? And I can just allow myself to calm, take a few deep breaths. And what I'm doing is I'm just sitting there and I'm breathing. And what's inevitably going to happen is my mind's going to start racing, right? So this is now where we are working on 2 skills. We are working to not attach to our thoughts, to not jump down the crazy hole of our thoughts. So those of you who have ever done a guided meditation or a YouTube video might have heard thoughts be called, right? The cars on the road, the clouds in the sky, right? The waves in the ocean. Learning how to just develop what we call an observational or a witness stance, meaning I'm just watching them, right? So I'm sitting here. The entity that is me, is separate from them, and I'm watching my thoughts as they start to crank up, right? So I might be sitting here and my thought might say, oh, what do you have to do next today? Oh, you should go do this thing. You have emails to write. Oh, did you get back to that person? Right? A million miles a minute. I'm going to watch those thoughts happen, and then I'm going to release my attention from those. And this is the second skill, and refocus my attention on my breath. This attentional skill is called a muscle. It's something we have to develop. We all, believe it or not, have choice as to where we put our attention. We just haven't accessed that choice in a really long time. So most of us, myself included, have lived or are living literally under the dictatorship of our thoughts, right? So our thoughts are always there, and I don't feel like I can choose to put my thoughts anywhere, my attention anywhere else. What this translates to for a lot of us is I read a page of a book, right? Simple example. I don't remember what I read. I sat in a lecture. I wasn't paying attention, right? I was there in body. Even in the book reading example, my eyes are scanning my page, but I wasn't paying attention because my attentional spotlight was lost in the rabbit hole of my mind. So when I'm sitting and I'm meditating and I'm just focusing on my breath and my thoughts come and I'm separating myself from those thoughts and I'm letting them go. Some of us like to label them. Oh, there goes my to-do list thought, there is my inner critic thought, and then I'm choosing and I'm strengthening that muscle, putting my attention back on my breath. Doing that for even a minute, 2 minutes at most, consistently, like I said earlier, can be so empowering. This is a space where not only do we meet ourselves, some of us for the first times, but we empower ourselves. We show us that we can separate ourselves from our mind, that we can get past that we are stronger than that. That is so critical. That then over time, so like I will say, whether I'm talking about breath work or meditation or any other tool that I suggest we use, we sit and we develop it on this cushion, right? So the more consistent time, those more consistent 1 minute, 2 minutes that I have add up, teach me those skills or allow me to teach myself those skills. And then before I know it, I can use that separation, use that choice of attention throughout my day, because that is where, right, our triggers, our patterns live. So like I will always say, there's tools, there's places where we practice the tools, right? On my meditation cushion, doing my breath work. But what is incredibly important is that those tools transfer into my day. So wherever it is in your world, carve out a minute, find a quiet spot, just tune in to yourself. Be prepared. Some of you might feel highly uncomfortable with what you see in your thoughts, with what you feel as a result of those thoughts, with how you feel in your body. I know the meditation cushion makes us all really antsy, right? All of that is you teaching yourself how to sit in all of this, how to choose to sit in it, to separate yourself from your thoughts, and to put your attention where you want it. So important. So those of you who have ever tried meditation, I would love to hear what you find helpful, what you struggle with, because that's the reality. Sometimes it's hard. Those of you who are new to it, I would love to know what you think. Thank you guys for tuning in.